It is the Thursday before a long weekend, but more importantly, it is Finish Fest 2025. I read I read a lot of books, 100 books a year or so. And so it's quite impressive that come July, come mid-year, I've only got about 8 books that are really seriously unfinished. These are all more than a couple chapters in where I left off. I do have lots of books where I've done a sample chapter of the first one or two, but these are all ones that I have felt just hanging over me and they need to be finished. And so this weekend, the goal is to finish all of these. Do I think that's possible? No. Are we gonna try anyways? Yes. Do I have priorities? Also yes. I started this book exactly 1 year ago tomorrow. I distinctly remembered it, and I really want to finish it. It's gotten a little repetitive because it's we keep going over survivors' memories and stuff, and they're getting kind of repetitive for what happened. So I just really want to blaze through to the end. There's also a lot of the official Congress trials at the end, and so I just really want to get through it. Now, I often get asked when I'm how do you remember the books that you've left so unfinished? And honestly, I have no idea. This is a book I'm 130 pages in. I was really hyped when it came out. I followed the author on Instagram. She's so lovely, and I was really excited. Witchy, cozy, lovely. And I started it in the fall, and it's very autumnal, but I just stopped. I struggle with cozy fantasy anyway, but so it needs to be done. Before I was a deep reader and reading constantly like this, this is how it would happen. Books would just get left half read for months because I was busy with schoolwork or whatever. And there was only once or twice where I really quite forgot what happened. Sometimes if I know a book's gonna be left unfinished for a while, I'll write a summary of events. It happens a lot with series, but all of these books, I'm very, very certain I remember all, if not most things. There might be a detail or two I forget. We can easily flip back and find it. This one I'm 80 pages into. It's essentially Taylor Swift fan fiction, but they quite literally haven't gotten off the road yet. They're not on the tour yet, so it's been a struggle to do what's next. This one I'm only... Did I take out my bookmark? I took out my bookmark. That's helpful. I'm not that far in this one, but again, it's been hanging over my head for so long. It was a free ARC that I got after the book came out, so I'm probably about... I may need to start over. I got Sarah Kay's new book almost the day it came out. I got it signed by her. I went to see her. It was amazing. And then I realized I never actually read her original collection of poetry cover to cover, so I was trying to do that before I read hers, so I need to finish. And poems are a great break when you're binge reading, I find, so I'll just be crushing through these and then take a break with a poem or two, then set this aside, give it a break, it'll be fine. Got this one, 110, page 110. I loved Ally Carter's other new modern romance book, and so this one I'm not loving as much because the other one was made for me, about authors. It's about a thing. It was beautiful. So this one's kind of a girly James Bond. I'm just not vibing as much, but it's fine. We'll get through it. Sometimes a book like this that sits forever and waits ends up being one of my favorites. To read the last half, it's whew, that was beautiful. I loved it. I have been exactly halfway through this book for months, if not a year. Page 261. And it goes up to page 550-ish. I want it to be done. And would you believe I've been stuck here like this in this book, and I still said, yeah, I want to read more Dickens, and bought another giant volume. And then this is the last, that actually wasn't in order of priority whatsoever. It's fine. Because Great Expectations is the one I really want to get off my chest. I want to get all of them. Doesn't matter. This one is just at the bottom of the pile. The rest are kind of even. Because I'm not that far in it, but I need to make some distinct progress. Books like this look really intimidating, but this is all appendices and sources, so I mean, that's still really thick, but saying you have to read to page 290, like, it's not even 300 pages. You'll be fine, even though the font is really small and it's kind of dense at times, especially right now where we're just going into, like, this is about Lady Jane Grey, the 9-day, technically 13-day queen of England. I'll tell you all about it when I finish it, but right now it's just, like, into all of her family drama and stuff, because you have to understand the whole King Henry VIII drama to understand how you ended up with a girl being like, well, her family being like, she's queen, now she's queen, and then she was beheaded. So 3 days. Wish me luck. It's 10:30 at night, day 1, and I've only finished 1 book. So, it's going great. Okay, despite disaster, we have managed to finish another one, the poetry book, which was great, but my brain is seriously mush. I have, you'll be happy to hear, readjusted my goals. So I had 8 books I wanted to finish. Now I really just want to finish 6, and I'm halfway. I've finished 3. I have Great Expectations, and then like the 2 fluffier, like, romancy books. But God, my brain is just mush from reading nonstop all day. Okay, so I'm really cooking with Dickens, but it just got to like a big thing, so I was like, okay, take a break and get to finishing these other, like, lighter romance ones. But like, these are, like, this book, here's Mimi cameo. This book is not great. I mean, like, it's written in the present tense. Who does that anymore? It's so difficult because I have yet to find anyone whose prose, like the way they write, anyone whose prose I love more than Dickens. I love the way he writes, and the things he talks about with class and all of that. He doesn't know anything about women, but that's another story. And so to go from that to this, especially where, like, there's like threats of like going to prison and like dying. Yeah, like he almost died several times in the last few chapters, our main character. And then in this one, it's like, did she hook up with this guy? It's like, okay. Okay, again, it's probably like unfair to compare anyone to Dickens, but I just, like, you pull any passage from this, and often a lot of Dickens, especially in this one, is satire, like, is making fun of people. Versus this book, people are talking about their feelings so incessantly. She has been talking about her feelings for a page and a half just on one thing, and literally the last 6 chapters have just been, well, I'm feeling this way about this. this, and I'm feeling this way about this, and I'm feeling like, oh, and people sometimes assume I don't have feelings for other people, or that I'm a narcissist because, like, you know, because I'm whatever. And then there was the whole bit with she's sharing a tour bus with her mom and her ex, and she's asking, oh, how are we gonna, schedule our hookups, put a sock on the door and do all that. And her mom's like, why would we be bringing anyone back? And she says, it's a music tour. Like, first of all, who would ever say it's a music tour? Like, it's a music tour? Are you playing like little recorders? Like, I'm sorry, uh, It is 8:46 p.m. on Sunday, and I have finished. My goal was to have 8 books, but I knew that was a little absurd when I started. So then it went down to the 6 main books that really needed finishing. And honestly, that's good to like set your goal bigger than you probably, because then, if you don't, at least I struggle to like keep going. My brain is mush. If this is absolute nonsense, my brain is mush because I like binge read 6 books in 3 days. And actually, before that, on the Thursday, I binge read, like, I finished the last like 100 pages in another book. So I finished 7 books in 4 days, really. And I think there was another book. 4 days, 8 books, which is insane even for me. I'll do a quick, very mini review right now of each of the ones I finished. But before I do, I just want to share that like a lot of the reading challenges I'm sure you'll see on here involve a lot of binge reading, and a lot of people these days are really into the binge reading where you just like eat a book in one sitting. And I compare a lot of books to foods. Like, some are like little desserts, they're very sweet and fluffy, like a meringue, or they're like a nice hearty stew that you eat in a nice pub, or and some of them are foods you want to savor, and some will go cold if you leave them too long. And I'm not saying that's true for each of these books, but just I've seen people like say like, oh, binge reading is bad, or like, you should take your time and slow reading, and I've done both, even just with these books. And it's really just up to you. It's up to you and the books and what you need and what you're looking for. So like, for example, this book, if it was a food, I'd compare it to like a bran cereal, like Raisin Bran, because it's like something you have like a bowl of on the regular, and it doesn't always taste great, but it's really good for you. It's good for you to learn, and it's good. And there was a lot in here that did take time to process and think about and consider. And like, I went to the Titanic exhibit in the middle of it, but then by the time I got to the ending, as I said, it could get really repetitive. And then I was like, let's just finish this. Like, let's just get to the end. And I'm glad I did all of that in one sitting, because it had some like original newspaper articles towards the end, but those were also like written like less raw and less real about the incidents. Those were very like finessed and edited, and felt like Molly Brown. She's a suffragette. There was a whole musical about the unsinkable Molly Brown. Um, she wrote an article for the newspaper, and she kept mentioning how she was in bed reading, and she was like, I was so engrossed in my book. I kept getting up to be like, are we sinking? What was that like big jolt I felt? What's going on? But also, I just want to go back to reading my book. And like, so relatable. But also, she never mentioned what book it was. And that's a detail I really need to know. This book, actually, at the Crescent Moon Tea Room, I can really compare it to a cup of tea, because I very rarely drink tea these days. Something about the acid, and like, I really like a cup of tea to be an event and to have like cookies and stuff with it. And so this book, for me, should have been taken in like small doses, and it was. Then again, I was just not getting through it, and it was cozy. It's more about the setting. It's like The Night Circus, if you've ever read that, where it's more about the setting and the magic and all of that than like the actual plot. But there was like actual plot going on, and I was like, I need to know what happens. But it was cute and it was sweet. And yeah, the people who really like cozy fantasy or like really immersive books felt like Little Women, felt like it was lovely. Lovely. This book was not. I like follow the authors. It's a couple, so it's like two of them together. They're married. I think they have a child now, and so I follow them, and so like I know them as real people, and so I feel bad saying it was bad. It was bad. Can I say it was like, you know, when you ask a toddler to like cook for you, or they're like making a mud pie, or like they're at a restaurant and they like put like the salt and the pepper and the thing, you know, those like little concoctions the kids do. Yeah, this is what this felt like. And it was just bad. Like the writing was not good, and like the characters they weren't totally flat, but like they 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 sold this so hard as Taylor Swift fan fiction that they brought copies of this book to the Eras tour and took pictures of it there. I mean, like you can see the character looks like, and it did such a disservice. It felt very kind of disrespectful to Taylor, I'm not gonna lie. I could go deep into it, but it didn't even like live up to her. Like they include like the lyrics they made up for her songs in the back, and they're so bad. They're so bad. Like they were just really. So I'm really glad I just finished it, got it out of the way. It's over. It's done. This one was super fun, not for me. Allie Carter wrote a bunch of like spy themed books for like girls 13, 14, about girls who were like 13, 14 out of spy school. And so this was like her adult, not even continuation, but just like for those girls who are now grown up and want romance books. And I love that. And I loved one of her other books, as I said, her adult books. But anyway, so that's why this one wasn't for me. I've never watched a James Bond film, admittedly. And this is clearly like a James Bond-esque. And there was just too much like violence and death and like stuff that was just like treated really senselessly. You know, just a lot of guns and a lot of stuff. And I'm not here for that. But it was still fun and, you know, really fast paced, really short. And so it's still very good. I recommend it if you like those kinds of things. Sarah Kay, I love you forever. If you don't know anything about Sarah Kay, just look up her TED Talk, Sarah Kay TED Talk. You won't regret it. And this was, like I said, a good palate cleanser in between all these other books. And then I finally finished Great Expectations. This one took me over a year. I really wish it hadn't, but it's dense. And Dickens writes a lot, but all that he writes is really good. And I really want to talk about this book as an English major with someone. So if anybody's read this, please comment, because I need to dissect it with you. But yeah, so that was really crazy, a crazy weekend. But honestly, I don't regret it, because having like those goals really kept me focused on reading, and they got me excited about other books that I have to read, because it's like, oh, well, when I finally finish this one, oh, I could go read this one. And like some of the references and things in these books made me like want to go read. Like I literally read Great Expectations because I have a like ghost themed, it's like a murder mystery with ghosts that is titled Grave Expectations. And I have no idea if it relates to the Dickens at all. I was just like, I have to read this before I read this one. So like things like that. And I feel really accomplished. Like I've really, what did I say? 8 books in 4 days? Like that's intense. And because those felt like tasks that I had to do, now all reading onward, for the moment at least, feels like fun. Feels like it's just for fun. And I haven't said this in a while, but if you've enjoyed watching my craziness, please do subscribe, like this video, give it the thumbs up, leave a comment. This one you can you can leave a dog emoji, because Mimi had so many cameos in this one. Oh, here she is. And she very much wants me to be done with this so that we can go play. She brought me her toy. Ready? Go get it. Thanks for watching.